Hey, what's up, everyone? It's MJ Dark here of the Handheld Kings channel. And like I said in my previous video, this is the OneXFly by OneXPlayer. It's a 7840U AMD Ryzen 7000 PC handheld. And what I want to do in this video is that I want to show you kind of the user interface to this handheld. There are many handhelds on the market, from, like I said before, Ioneo, Lenovo, you have Asus, you have GPD Win, and they all use sort of their own PC kind of interface that you can use to kind of interact with this device. And that interface that I'm going to show you kind of does couple of things. Controls resolution, controls the fan, controls the nice RGB lighting that you see here on this device. And there's two ways you can access this. There's a button right here on the OneXFly, the turbo button. And what that does is that it brings what OneXPlayer calls the OneXConsole. And as you can see here, anytime I press this turbo button, whether I'm in a game or I just want to access it, I just press it once and it kind of brings up this nice little compact user interface for the system. As you can see here, we're going to go through some of these things. Now, performance, what that means is you probably heard it many times when you've probably either seen some of the other videos from other people that cover some of these PC handhelds, and that usually is the TDP. Simply meaning is that anytime I want to play a specific game, I can actually move this lever here and it maxes out at 30. And what that means is that's how much power I'm giving to the CPU to allow me to run at the targeted frame rate that I want to do. So let's say, for instance, I want to maybe hit a game that I can go to 60. I may want to go between 4 watts, of course, up to 30 watts, which is the maximum. Of course, when you do get to that 30, which is the max, you are going to drain the battery much faster than most times. Then here, you have sort of these fan presets, and those are to control the fan to make sure that you're getting the proper ventilation. I usually leave it on automatic, and that usually works just fine. The next is the vibration settings. That's there to see how much feedback you want on this actual device. Then here, if I want to change the actual display, so let's just say there's a game that just is not going to run pretty well at the 1080p resolution, usually those really high-end games or intensive games, excuse me, you can easily change it here. And once you're ready, you can just bring it back. Here, this controls kind of the RGB lighting that you'll see here. I can change it here and kind of mess around with it. Next, I have what's called a performance overlay. So what that allows you to do is, if you've seen in many videos when people are showing the frame rate, how much the CPU is being taxed, and all these little fancy numbers, you press that to kind of see if you're hitting the targets that you want to hit for your game. So some games may not have in their settings some sort of performance indicator. So it's a good way if you're trying to hit like a target performance on this device, you have this information there when you boot up the game. Over here, I can just turbo on. This just means if I want to clock the CPU to a higher frequency to maybe allow me to kind of hit whatever, again, performance that I want. You have gyroscope. This is a cool thing, which is called sound vibration or sound tap. You might have seen it in other devices. What it does is that it actually syncs with the audio in the game, and you sort of feel the vibrations, which is pretty cool. And then the other cool thing I like about on the OneXConsole is that they added these game trainers. So think of them like cheats from back in the days, like Game Genie. You can actually enable this, and when you have games that are supported, it'll download some mods or some cheat codes. So if you want to do like God mode or infinite ammo or something, you'll have those in there. Now, when I press this little icon here that looks just like the handheld, it brings to a full screen mode. When I have games here installed that I don't have at the moment, it will scan, or I can actually tell it to scan here. And it'll scan via platform, or you can add it manually. Then when I hit over here, I can program some of the keys. So if I want to, one of the things that I forgot to show in my videos, I have these two little kind of extra buttons, and I can actually map things. So as you can see here, I have it for screenshots and of course to bring up the Xbox menu that you usually see on the PC. Others is where I can go here and kind of update and look for things that I need to update. And then of course, if I hit here, I can check for updates. Now, one of the cool things that this device has that I didn't explain about these devices is that, like I said before, this device here, the OneXFly, has 32 gigs of system RAM. And like a console, it shares that RAM between the graphics card and the system. So what I can do here is that depending on the game I'm playing, I can dedicate a portion of that 32 gigs of RAM to the actual video card. And you've probably seen this on actual desktop video cards where you'll buy either an AMD or not GeForce, or an NVIDIA graphics card, and it comes with its own dedicated allocation of RAM. Sometimes it'll be 8. You'll see 12 or 24, like in the 4090. So again, like a console, this shares memory. So you can allocate it so you can get some improved performance. Maybe allows you to, get a little bit of higher texture so your games can look well. And then I can easily just go here. So there you have it, folks. That is the OneXConsole from OneXPlayer. Again, there's different UIs that come with different handhelds. I'll be showing more of my other handhelds that I have in future videos to kind of show you the difference, how each of one are sort of similar, but of course, things are not in the same place that you see. Thank you.